The 2 day state visit of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the United Kingdom has come to an end, and without doubt, it was colorful. The ceremony was historic. We saw the royal reception, we saw the place setting, we saw the banquets, the display, and all the images, the photos that came with that visit were quite beautiful. And the event itself has been described as the first visit of that level by a Nigerian leader to the United Kingdom in about 37 years. But again, once the glamour is over, what next? What exactly did Nigeria bring back from that trip? And so, one of the biggest outcomes announced from this visit was the £746 million financing agreement of redevelopment of Apapa Port and Tinkan Island Port, both in Lagos. Now, let us call things by their proper name. You can call it facility, you call it expert finance, or structural support. But the truth is simple. Nigeria is taking on an obligation. Nigeria will be responsible for the repayment under this arrangement, even though it is being tied to specific project. And this is where the concern starts. If the entire country is going to carry the burden of this repayment, then people have the right to ask, why is it that the visible execution of this borrowing is again concentrated in Lagos? Because this is not the money that only Lagos will repay. This is not a burden that will stop at Apapa Port. It is the entire nation that will bear this burden. And that is why the conversation matters, and that is why this is quite uncomfortable. Elections are close. Whether this appeals to you or not, politics is already shaping public perception. Nigeria's next general election is by the corner. So naturally, borrowing tied to high visibility projects in the president's own state raises a serious concern. Why Lagos again? Why must national borrowing always find its loudest expression in Lagos? Now, when you connect the dots, when you look at the only completed and heavily publicized part of the Coastal Highway project, and again, the most visible part starts in Lagos, then you look at the new financing deal. Now, it says Lagos. So even if the government says this is about economic efficiency, ordinary Nigerians are likely to see a pattern. Borrow nationally, execute visibly in Lagos, and then you sell it to us as national progress. Now, let us be fair. Nobody is disputing the fact that ports don't need upgrading. Nobody is denying that. But there's also the issue of fairness and balance. There's the issue of national spread. There is that issue of how people interpret repeated concentration of federal attention in one city. Because once a government keeps using national power and national obligation to fund projects in the same place, it is okay to ask why the interest of the country is only applicable to one state. And here is another angle that many of us might be screaming recolonization in a few years. This agreement is also a very clear export opportunity for the United Kingdom. In fact, the United Kingdom government said it itself because according to them, this £746 million deal is expected to generate about £236 million in supplier contracts for the British companies. And out of this £70 million to the British Steel, the British government even presented it as a major boost for the UK exporters and that it will support the British industry. So the United Kingdom is backing this financing because it will create business for the United Kingdom companies. So meaning that out of the £746 million loan, the United Kingdom through export will make a supply of £236 million. Therefore, taking 1/4 of their money already. But at the end of the day, Nigeria will still make a full repayment. So yes, the visit was historic. It was impressive. The photos were beautiful. But beyond the glamour, the biggest concrete takeaway we've had so far is a £746 million financing obligation tied to two ports in Lagos in a political season where elections are drawing near and in the president's own state. It is a truth at a time. Take care and have a nice day.